Hello and welcome. My name's Leanne. I live in Australia and this is my crafty cupboard.
Hello, cheeky. Hello, Merle. Is this your favourite spot? Come and sleep in the lavender. Is your spot in there in the sun? Merle. Beautiful spot. If I could fit in there, I would. It's lovely and sunny. It smells so lovely. So, think about these little floaty bits at the top here. This is my little needle book, so I'm thinking of just doing a ribbon stitch. I've just marked some pins to show me where my edges are. Could do with a slightly bigger eye on the needle. And go out there. I'll just leave it at 2 for now because this is going to be smaller than that, and now it gets like if I look at these little individual flowers, it's 1, 2, 3, you know, and then it gets more and more as it goes down. Now some ribbon knots, so some French knots, maybe lighter towards the top, darker at the bottom. That's the lightness and dark seems to be quite random. I guess these are a bit lighter than that. This is a nice variegated mohair. Okay, so start with 1 French knot. 1, 2, 3. Let's just try 3. Yep. See? 2 flowers. 1, 2, 3. I'm not used to working with wool very much. I've done a few little projects, hot water bottle cover, baby's blanket, coat hanger covers. That was a long time ago. I think having just come off the back of working with ribbon where you've got to keep it loose, I'm letting the wool sit too loose. Alright, now what do we do to make this not look like a pyramid? bees keep visiting me because I took their lavender. This is giving me bunny rabbit vibes. There's a cute ears and a cute little tail. That'd be a cute way to stitch little bunnies. Just a little satin stitch for their body, and then put a big French knot on. I'm starting to curve back in again already. I'm really loving the stem stitch with this wool. Wow. Gorgeous. So we need some leaves. They're quite long, aren't they, and spiky? And something to sort of, replicate this here. And I also feel like we need another little bud out there, or could be a little bud out there, or a little one in here. There's a tiny one. You're tiny. Gonna be there, I think, like up here. So with its little bunny ears this way and this way. Cute. So I'm just going to go 2 this time. Now this is just going to catch that one down because it's not sitting nicely. Maybe one more underneath here. 1, 2. Just in case I want to adjust anything, I'll park that over here. Right, let's retrieve the green from parking. I'm actually just going to whip it to get back to here and make this stem go this way. Okay, now about just let's try a fairly large lazy daisy here. Maybe an extra stitch in the centre. Yep. Same again on the other side. The only trouble with parking your wool, you be careful. Should have parked it over this side where my hand isn't working. I've pulled that a bit tight, so I want to loosen it up. Like that. Take an extra stitch just to fill it in. No, we don't want you part of the work. I think that works okay. Alright, now down here, because the lavender's got that long spiky, well not spiky, but they're long and skinny, aren't they? The leaves should have long, skinny, lazy daisy, stitched. And of course, well actually I'm going to put them all down here because the lavender itself goes up on a long stem, doesn't it? It doesn't have leaves all the way up. Alright, it's a long skinny lazy daisy. One more for balance down here. From there, I think. Nice. Alright. Now we'll tie that off because it's a long way to go back on the top. Right, at this point I think I will get rid of these. I'm not going to do any more. So I'm just giving them a little pull to open up the hole to put the needle back through. So that they're just coming out, they're not leaving any stitches. Rather conveniently they're finished close together, so I'll just tie them off. one more stitch. That'd be cute with my needles in it. You said a needle book has to be plain and boring. You bumped my arm. Hello, Pussycat. Meow. Hello, meow. So I'm just doing stem stitch here to finish up this little flower. I really do like this wool to work with. It's much easier to work with this than embroidery threads. Gives a lovely result. And I'm liking the muted finish, how it's not sort of shiny. It ties in well with the muted palette. Just a lazy daisy stitch for the leaf, pull it through. I'm slowly losing my mind from the barking dog. I apologise. Obviously, it's bored. Hopefully it'll stop soon. There. Let's pop in a few lazy daisy stitches over here for some random leaves as well. This needle threader is good for the wools. It's I don't really have much success with it, with embroidery threads. Okay, so it's a little bit later and I'm back inside once again doing some stem stitch. I'm just doing another one of those little yellow flowers. So I'm just stitching the little bits that the petals attach to. I have actually found on my trip away to the south coast, I stopped at Berry. What a beautiful little town. And there was a beautiful bookstore. And I found this book on flowers and the anatomy of flowers. So I'm going to start studying that book. And then I won't be lost for words when I'm describing what I'm stitching. I'll actually know what all the things are called. I put it away on the bookshelf. I'm going to have to get it out and leave it on my table. So when I go past, I pick it up and read a page and learn a new thing. And Berry is a quaint little town. It's got lovely tea rooms. I love the South Coast blend tea. It's just a black tea, very nice. Have it for breakfast every morning in my teapot. And a beautiful quilt store. Very, very friendly staff there. All sorts of sort of craft stores and yummy places to eat. Well worth a visit. Okay, so the little petals of the flowers, this is a very soft pink colour, almost white. I'm just making them with a lazy daisy stitch. I'm funny. This isn't my pink. I mean, this is soft yellow. On the back page of my needlebook, I want to do a soft pink version. But yeah, these are just lazy daisy stitch petals to make the little flower head, which I'm hoping is something reminiscent of a dandelion. That's what I was inspired by in the garden anyway. So this is the dandelion when it's still got its petals on. Just at that stage. Have you noticed how they close up at night and then they open with the sun in the morning? Let's add some beads to the centers of these flowers. Which honestly I don't know what they are. I was just stitching some lazy daisy stitch petals because I wanted a little bit of soft pink to break up the colour scheme a bit. I'm using bottom line thread because it's nice and thin and strong, and yeah, you can't really see it. I'm so happy I found this 20-cent piece of felt in the second-hand store. Look at that. Okay, here. This is where I want to do this sort of part puff ball of the dandelion. So I'm just stitching the sort of green bit that the puff bits attach to. Those are the technical terms for them, the green bits and the puff parts, okay? That's what they're not called, but you know what I mean. So I'm just filling it up, lazy daisy stitch one inside another, and then when I get to just a light little gap, I'm just doing a straight stitch down the centre. Okay, I'll finish it off with a straight stitch across the bottom to hold it all together, and then stem stitch the stem. It's really getting quite late, but this is one of those things I'm a bit obsessed now. I had the idea and I just wanted to make it, and honestly working with felt and wool is so nice. It's so easy to use. You know, the needle goes through easily, and the wool, because it's got this sort of puffiness to it, expands to fill up the spaces more quickly than cotton embroidery threads do. Okay, so to make the puff ball effect, I'm putting a French knot on the end of these. Okay, so go in like a normal lazy daisy stitch. So make your loop. Where you come out, wrap the wool around a couple of times. Hold it. And then go in like you normally would to pin it in place. It's not quite sitting how I'd like it. Okay, never mind. I'm loving this page so much. I love the muted colours, how they only just stand out. So pretty. Okay, let's knot that. Finish it off. Just tuck it through there for good luck. Love it. See, the dandelions have got those sort of long, flat, skinny leaves with sort of a bit of a ridge down the centre. So I'm just going to do the world's longest lazy daisy stitch. Just like that. And do a bit of back stitch down the centre. Try and create that effect of the ridge. Just finishing off the second one. Okay, so that's how the book's going to go together. And I'm going to stitch those two pages together. So I've just pinned them, got them ready, and I am using a stitch that I learnt from Christine, Create and Craft with Christine. So this is the Armenian edging stitch. And at the time that we learnt it, I thought to myself, oh, this reminds me of the edging you would see on hankies and doilies and things that you could crochet through. So I thought, well, let's use it here. Just stitch the pages together. So it just gives a little knot. And I pulled it so the loops weren't so loopy. Okay, so my idea is just to stitch it straight to the backing fabric that will be glued on the cardboard template. But maybe also, I don't know, maybe I could put a ribbon on the cardboard template and just slip the book through the ribbon so it can come in and out. I'm not sure. So I'm just using the same crochet thread, doing a running stitch all the way through to anchor it there for now, and I'll think about whether I want to make it removable or not. Cute, but I think it needs a little something extra. So I grabbed a crochet hook out of my pot. That little pot is filled with hooks from my mum and my nan and I don't know where. Okay, so I'm just doing that starting loop, and I'm going to lose the little tail in the crochet as I go. Okay, so I'm in Australia and we use the same crochet terms as the UK. So that's I think a double, and then I'm doing a treble, and another double crochet in that one loop. And then on the next one, same thing again. So in US terms, I think this is called a single crochet. And then a double. And then a single. I like to work from diagrams rather than words because they're pretty straightforward. So anyway, this is just your basic crochet stitch first, and then the second one I do is the longer one by doing a yarn over first, and then you take 2 off your hook, and then 2 off your hook, and then the basic one again. And that's what the finished edging looks like. I love how frilly it is and vintage looking. Look how nice it is with the needles in. Much more interesting needle book than what I have currently. While I was doing this, I had this idea that if you wanted to, you could do different embroidery on each page, and that would tell you where to put them away, right? So do ribbon embroidery, put your ribbon needles away there. Wool embroidery, put your wool needles away there. Cotton embroidery, put your cotton embroidery needles. Anyway, just a thought. A little close-up look. A lot of fun to make. Really enjoyed this. There, the crochet edge. And my favourite, the puffball flower. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time.